All right, so I've been thinking about the way that I collect. Really, my thoughts about collecting are constantly changing, and they've been evolving over the course of this entire channel. Having accountability to thousands of subscribers and people that are following this channel really makes you hyper aware of what you're doing and how I'm collecting and what I'm doing with the things that I have. And a couple of years ago, I started to sleeve a lot of my DVDs. I thought, well, if I have this, it's a catalog title, it's not rare, it doesn't need to be out, it doesn't need to be easily accessible for frequent views, that sort of thing. I could put them in a sleeve and just file them away, maximize my space by having those somewhere else than on my shelf. And that was one way to try to get the collection under control. And I've brought you along with me for that process, for that that journey, as it were, because it has been a journey. Because it's, it costs time and money to do all of that sleeving. And here I am, like a couple of years later, and I'm still evolving with it. I'm like, I just have too much stuff. I have way too much stuff. But that would imply that I should slow down with the things that I want to get, right? Like, stop. As you're seeing this video, I've just posted an episode about Starlog, where I bought a ton. There's like 85 issues of Starlog magazine, and because I'm going for a full run of Starlog. Now, I've bought more Starlog since you saw that video, and there'll probably be a video about that soon too. I buy paperback books like crazy. Conventional wisdom would say, stop. But what I'm coming to realize, where I'm at now, is that people like me, and if you're watching this channel, probably people like you too, have some sort of a mental disposition, a predisposition toward collecting. It gives us order in our brains. Frankly, many of us are neurodivergent. A lot of us are on the ADHD, the autism spectrum. That's something that I think maybe we haven't talked about a lot in the past, because it may be like, oh, we don't talk about that. But it's true. Undiagnosed, or I am diagnosed. It's a fact. It's a real thing that's happening. It gives order in my brain to know, like, okay, regardless of what happens, I have all the film noir box sets on my shelf forever. I'll be an old man and I'll be able to watch these film noir. I see people saying, I'm buying this for my retirement collection. I have said that too. What I buy now is what I will have for the rest of my life. And people will say, well, when's your collection complete? And I would say, it's already complete. I have everything I could ever dream of and more. At this point, it's just, gilding the lily. It's just that extra little sauce on top whenever I can find something else fun. But I'm evolving beyond this, and I'm going to a new place where I'm starting to realize that, one, I am not an ex-hoarder. I'm still a hoarder. I hoard. I mean, it's a mentality. This idea of, like, I need to get all of this thing. I like this thing. I need to get all of this thing. Okay, here's an example. If something goes on sale at the grocery store, my grocery store will do buy one, get one free sales. Now listen, it's not a gimmick to make you buy two, because if you only buy one, you get it for half price. So there's no incentive to buy bulk of this thing. But if they have a sale on something that I really like, I will buy lots of that thing. Okay, I'll give you a case in point. My grocery store recently had a sale on Capri Sun. Now I have, the little drink pouches, the little, faux juice pouches. I haven't had Capri Sun in 40 years probably. I mean, I was probably a child in the 80s the last time I had Capri Sun. Maybe it was in the 90s and I don't remember, but it's been a long, long time. So I bought 2 boxes, I think, of Capri Sun because it was on sale. I was like, well, I'll get two different flavors. I was, bring it home, pop that straw in, all these sense memories come back. It's 1988 again. And I'm like, what? It's tropical punch. And so I go back and buy like 6 more boxes of Capri Sun, because in my brain, I like this thing. I better get this thing while I can get it before it goes away. This is just the way that my brain is wired to think. It's not something that I'm choosing to do. It's how this neurodivergent brain chooses pathways that find happiness, really. Having those 6 boxes of Capri Sun in my kitchen for some reason makes me feel secure. And I feel the same thing with movies and with music, with records, with comic books, with paperback science fiction novels and hard-boiled detective fiction and action figures. I'm looking at this out of the periphery of my eye, just sitting on the floor next to me because it's all over the floor. Hey, here's something else. Just on the floor right now. There's something about this accumulation, this collector. We used to call it the collector gene. When like years ago, when we first started to realize that there's a lot of people like us. We have a collector gene. We're just wired to collect. Where I'm coming to with it now is realizing that while I get the thrill of having the cartoon version, the Filmation rendition of Skeletor, in this still sealed package, or the Batmobile from Batman Forever, or all these film noir on my shelf, there will likely come a day when it becomes a burden to have those things. When the joy of having those is overshadowed by the clutter that it takes up, the space that it takes up, the mess that it creates, the inconvenience of having that thing. The joy may decline. It likely will decline. I think that's what I'm realizing in my middle age now, is that what I loved when I was younger is not necessarily what I'm going to love for the rest of my life. Now, if you've seen that Starlog video, you saw how happy that stuff made me. And as I'm recording this video, I'm wearing a Fantastic Four shirt. I'm still very connected. I just bought the He-Man thing, right? I'm still very connected to a lot of the things that I was when I was younger, but it doesn't always continue to bring me joy. And so I now view like these windows, right? Well, it brings me a thrill for now. Those Starlog magazines that I just bought make me very happy right now. In 5 years or in 10 years, they may not make me happy anymore. And when that time comes, it's time to let those go and let them go to someone else. And that's probably why they were sold to me in the first place, is because the person who had them was no longer getting joy from them and was ready to pass them on to somebody else. So I am starting to view things that way, in the sense of this is, I enjoy this for now, and when I don't enjoy it anymore, it needs to go. That's the challenging part, but I am getting better at it, because if you've been following along with my sales and my eBay listings, I'm letting a lot of things go. A lot of things. The only downside, the hindrance to that is the time that it takes for me to list all these things on eBay, to then pack. By the way, the listing of my eBay store is in the link of this video and every video that I've ever created. The eBay listing is always in the description of the video. But the time that it takes to sell it, to pack it up, it takes a while. It can take an hour to list things on eBay, and then it can take 20 minutes to pack everything up. Then I got to go to the post office. I go to the post office at least 3 times a week. It's a commitment. So on a heavy week, when I've got a commentary due, or I've got an interview with somebody, or just really a lot of movies that I'm trying to get through to review them and to talk about them here with you guys, eBay kind of takes a back seat. So I end up with a lot of clutter. I ended up with a lot more things on the floor. Ideally, I would have a store. I look at Eric Wilkinson, the guy at MVD, who really picks the movies. He's sort of I'm not sure. I don't remember what his exact title is. He's the acquisitions guy and a producer. He will choose what movies get released from MVD. And he opened a store, Wall to Wall Sound, in New Jersey a year ago. If I don't know, I'm not good with time. That's a dream job, because you are hands-on with that stuff every day, but you don't have to keep it all. You get the thrill. I was talking to him about it on the phone one time, not that long ago. I was like, what do you enjoy? He's like, oh, I love it. He's like, it's great for my collection because I get first choice of anything that comes through, but he also gets to pass it through. The things that he's not interested in, he passes it through. He becomes a curator of all of this pop culture. And maybe that's what I'm wired to do, is to be a curator. Here's what this is. I'm just looking for, okay. No, I'm going to choose this. here's the Missing in Action trilogy. You know, Kino Lorber put this out. It's the three Missing in Action movies with Chuck Norris. I've seen them. They're cool, and I'm ready to pass it on to a customer. You know, that kind of a thing. You curate it. You can't keep everything. And the more stuff we have, it doesn't mean anything. I think we all have to get over, including me, we have to get over the idea that the more we have, the more secure we are. Or the more we have, the more of a fan we are of something. Just because you have a lot of movies on your shelf doesn't mean you're a movie fan. It just means you like to buy movies. I say this a lot, but it's true because I will never forget the comment from a viewer who said, Heath isn't really a movie fan because he doesn't have a lot of Criterion releases. And I said, what does it have to do with me being a movie fan? And they said, well, you just don't have a lot of Criterion releases, so you're not, you don't love movies that much. And I said, well, first of all, a lot of what Criterion releases is already available from a studio via another release. So just because I don't have that release doesn't mean I haven't seen the movie or that I don't even own the movie. But to this person, and I think they represent a larger contingent of the fan base than we would like to think that they do. Your fandom is judged by how much of something you have, how much money you have spent, how much you have accumulated of that thing. Not by your ability to talk about those things, your ability to have seen them and appreciate them and be able to contextualize them, but how much of it you have behind you or in a room. And the same is true for books, and the same is true for comics, and the same is true for action figures, right? Well, you can't really appreciate an action figure, so maybe I should not, you can't like consume. Well, you could consume an action figure. You go to the hospital if you do. You know what I mean, though? Like, there's this, we are so wired for consumerism all the time. So I can make a video where I interview a Hollywood legend, okay? I can interview somebody who was in I can interview award-winning performers, directors, whatever. And that video is going to get a tiny fraction of the views that an unboxing video is going to get, or a new release video for physical media is going to get. That's because we are wired. This very platform that I'm making this video on is wired to sell you things. Our entire existence is caught up in this buying things, not appreciating, not watching, not discussing, the buying, the consuming, the getting of the thing. I posted an interview video the other day, and I'm putting it up on YouTube, on this platform, and it starts immediately scanning. It tells me, scanning for product links. And I thought, there are no products in this video. This is an interview with a human being. But that's the world that we're living in now, where it's just marketing over and over. And it brainwashes us into thinking that the more we have, we win, right? But then there's that old phrase, right? He who dies with the most toys still dies. You can't take any of this stuff with you. The best you can do is to appreciate it while you can. And when you stop appreciating it, when it stops taking on that, when it stops feeding you, it's time to let it go. And that's where I'm at right now, is like, what do I want to let go and what new things can bring me joy? So it becomes like this constant, bringing in, getting out, bringing in and getting out. So there's dozens more issues of Starlog headed my way right now, but there's also dozens of movies going out right now. And I take books to the secondhand store, I trade those in for credit. So I'm trying to have this new mentality of, you don't have to keep everything. I told somebody the other day, it was Carl, a Patreon supporter, member of this channel, Carl. I was talking to Carl via an email, and he said, I said, I feel sometimes like my stuff is a museum. And sometimes I wish that I could have a museum where I could show everything that has worth and meaning to me. And Carl said, your channel is the museum. It doesn't matter if you still have it. You've documented it, and everybody can enjoy that. And I got goosebumps just saying that, just relaying that just now, because that is so true. Sharing it is the whole point, like being able to talk to other people about how cool something is. Those Starlog magazines, right? I got so excited about them, seeing the covers. Like, here's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when nobody knew what that movie was going to be yet. Here's Conan the Barbarian. Here's Arnold Schwarzenegger on the cover of Starlog talking about a movie that has not come out yet. It's crazy to think about these these things, what they mean in our culture. And that's the magic of it. It's not the piece of paper or the plastic that the disc is. It's the thing that it means. It's the art that it represents and what it means to us in terms of our just our fandom. Accumulation is not the same as fandom. Owning is not the same as fandom. Fandom is a state of mind. It's a state of appreciation. It's really being connected to the thing. And I am trying to be better about cycling it through, taking on the things that bring me joy, and then when they stop bringing me joy, get them in the hands of someone else that it will bring them joy to. That's the goal moving forward. And we'll see how it continues to evolve over time, but that's where I'm at with it today. My evolving views of being a collector, trying not to be a hoarder, and trying to appreciate what I have. That's it. This is an unscripted video. All of this, I had no notes. I didn't really know how I wanted to get this out. Unscripted means I sit down, I turn on the camera, and I go, let's see what comes out. This is a one-take video. I turned on the camera, one take. This is what it was. This is what I had on my mind. What do you guys think about this topic? Where are you at with it? Where are you at with your collecting? I would love to continue the conversation in the comments below. Gatekeepers, not wanted. No, thank you. If you're here to shut down other people, I will block you. I will delete you. That is not what this is about. This is about other fans coming together to talk about the things that bring us joy and hopefully grow together. You know, if we're all going in the same direction, growing together, well, that's a community right there. And this channel should be a place to foster community. Thank you. I appreciate you. Take care. Until next time, I will catch you later.